Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wild at Heart. We have sort of arrived at a bit of a finale here. I finished up all of the cleanup, the little loose, straggling pieces that I still had to do all over the deep woods, but that is all behind us now. We have all of our upgrades, we have all of our gifts from our Greenshield members. We've done everything that we possibly could have done to prepare us up to this point. So as we head into the final area, I would recommend sort of a bit of a balance of all different sprites going into this area. Doesn't really matter how you want to mix it up. I would recommend just taking a few of every kind and then filling in the blanks with sort of your favorite spriteling after that. I personally still really like the barblings. I just think they're the cutest and they're also very strong, so I'm gonna take 20 of them and 10 of every other sprite that I have. We're gonna max it out. We're gonna have 60 with us. And I also went ahead and I went crazy with crafting. I have so much stuff in my stash, so sky's the limit in terms of what I wanted to bring with me for the fight. I would recommend some tonics. So again, we're gonna bring along our power tonics and our sturdy tonics. And I would also highly recommend having some food. And if you can, I think the hearty meals are probably the best because they give you 3 hearts worth of healing and then they also give you temporary extra protection. And as you can see, I've made everything now, but I don't know that I ever scrolled through and talked about all the recipes in detail. I'm just gonna quickly scroll through some of these so that if you're missing one, you can see the different ingredients that you need in order to make everything that's on our crafting list. All pretty simple. Everything I made, I just did on my own by mixing and just experimenting. So there you have it, that's everything. I am grossly over-prepared. I would really hope that I wouldn't need this much food and these many tonics, but you can never be too safe. I think what I've got is plenty, and I'm ready to go. Let's do this. We are going to go back to the catafalque. And if you have been calling toothpicks everywhere that you've been, do keep in mind that you also have to call her from the catafalque for that to count. There is a save point here. You can fix up your spritelings. If there's something that you think you'd like to change, you can do that here. But I'm ready. We're gonna put in all of our artifacts that we found along the way. Just like opening the Temple of Time. Creepy hidden passageway beneath a grave. Why wouldn't there be? I think this is where the heart of the Never is. Kirby, if we go down there, we might not... I know, but we're in this together. Let's save our friends. Are you ready? Probably not. Same. Be sure to grab the page that is next to the staircase. And when you're ready, this is kind of the point of no return until you finish the game. and they will warn you about that, so make sure to go down only when you're ready. And here we are. We're about to go confront the Never. There is also another page here to grab, and I do believe that might be our very last page for our book. Just gonna scroll through really quick. That should be it. I believe there's only 17 pages total, and once you have all of the pages, you will get an achievement for that. And Greycoat told us that Big Pockets and the Green Witch had a child, and I may or may not have gone over this before, but you can figure that out ahead of time if you read through the book, because the book was Big Pockets' old journal, so he talks all about the Greenshields, and he talks about how he is in love with the Green Witch. And there's just a few pieces of backstory that you can kind of read about. I keep forgetting that the Green Witch's name before she was a being and she was just a human was Stick Figures. But I still think calling her the Green Witch is accurate and probably the easiest thing to do, but anywhoozin'. You can see that there is also a craft bench here if there's anything else you want to make before you go forward. And then just for good measure, they also put in yet another sprite well. So once we pass this barrier, this is it. Let's do it. Ugh, gross. Tentacles. We're here to stop you. I was ancient when the stars were new. I am eternal. I don't care if you were born yesterday. Time's up. It's so good to see you again. These short years of your life have been punctuated by one thing, have they not? Your nagging desire to flee to the woods. Tell me, how is it that you came to this place? I followed Wake into the woods and through the tree. The way was closed. I told the tree to let me in, and it did. Kirby, Greycoat said that only the Green Witch can open and close the way to the deep woods. You stand corrected, little watchman. Only the witch and her offspring can open and close the door. Greycoat said she had a child that she hid away in our world. It's me. The Green Witch was my mother. Maybe I've always known. That means that Big Pockets is my father? And do you understand now the snare I have you in? Her power is all but muted. The shepherds reduced to barely functioning husks. I will cast off the body of this feeble old man. And I will take yours, little witch. I will open the door as I please. I will be free. We won't let you. Little watchman, I'm afraid your usefulness has expired. Good riddance. So we get some really, really good music for this. And this fight is a little bit busy. It can be a little bit confusing. I'm going to try and explain it the best that I can. And the reason I recommend bringing a bunch of different sprites is because you can see we've got a bunch of different enemies that are roaming around. But your main target is going to be all of the different floating versions of Big Pockets that you see. Once you have defeated however many there are on the screen, all of the protection on this guy in the middle, the Never, is going to disappear, and you can then attack him. It's scripted, you can only do enough damage before he'll stop you. And you can see that Obviously, we've had a few sprites get killed, but don't worry about it because the game is actually nice enough to give us sprites. They will spawn more sprites in, just like that, as you can see. So, I think that's the most frustrating aspect of the fight, in a way, is just that you lose sprites left and right. And, you know, it is worrying when you come in here, but they do give you enough to make sure that you can take care of the Never successfully. And then obviously the longer that you go on, the more damage you do, the more big pocket clones there are going to be. But he's down, so let's go. We've only need a couple of sprites just to get in there. And then this is when I like to use my power tonics just to make it go by faster. I won't let that happen again. So we're down to 20 sprites now, which kind of sucks. And we need to be able to free Kirby here, so we're gonna free her first, and then we'll go after our big pocket clones. You just have to be careful too, because obviously you can see that the Never is attacking Wake and Kirby, so that's why we brought along some food. They've taken a little bit of damage, but we're still doing really well, I think. I could use tonics here as well, just to make this part go by a little bit faster, but I think we're doing okay. And I try not to fuss too much about the sprites. If they're lost, like I said, the game will replace them for us. And it is urgent that we take care of the clones as fast as we can. That's kind of our priority here. This guy should be the last one. Perfect. And that's it. I think there's just those 3 stages. Get in there and kill the Never. And that's all there is to it. Enough! I see now that allowing you both to remain together was a mistake. Wake! Why do you fight? I could make you a god of this realm. I could give you power unimaginable. And all you'd have to do is stop. No, go back down. It's the Green Witch. Her name was Fion. No matter how hard you tried, you couldn't take my mother's name from her. This was her plan all along. Me and Wake and you. I understand it now. Because I am the Green Witch. Yeah, Kirby, do it. Finish off the Never. Wake's not dead. We can see that he's dreaming, so that's a good clue that he's still alive. Dad, it was me. I was so selfish. Mom got sick. She died. And I blamed you for everything. But you were hurting too. You needed me. You still need me. I need to tell you I'm sorry. Come home, son. Wake, are you alright? I think so. Is it over? Do you think it's dead? I don't know if it can be killed. It's Big Pockets. He's alright. What brings you to such a grim place? I've a dire task to perform, and this is no place for children. Kirby, that's... yeah. Hello. Hello, little one. What's your name? Kirby. Pleased to meet you. Do we know each other? Not yet. Well, I guess this is it. I guess so. Thanks for opening the way. No sweat. Are you gonna be okay? I think so. I've got friends. Wait, I'm sorry I called you a dumbass. It's okay. I was being a dumbass. Such language. Until next time. I suppose I could let you back in if you wanted to visit sometime. I'd like that. Great Coat, I'm glad I met you. It was my honor, Master Wake. Kirby. I'm really proud of you. Aww. Best friends for life. Even though Kirby is gonna stay in the deep woods and Wake is gonna go back to regular world. And that's it. Yay, we're all finished. I hope everybody has enjoyed The Wild at Heart. I sure did. I loved replaying this again. It was really fun to commentate over. I think this will be a fun project. And for the most part, I don't really have much to complain about with this game. The story kind of falls apart, I think, near the end. I get what's happened, and I understand what they're trying to say, but there's a lot of questions and holes that feel weird to me. Wouldn't somebody notice that Kirby wasn't coming back to the real world? How long in Earth time or real world time passed that they were in the Grove? Wouldn't you want to wipe Wake's memory when he returned? There's just a lot of sort of open-ended things, but I guess in the end it doesn't really matter. I get the storyline as a whole. But that's really my only complaint. I had a few glitches and some bugs that came up. Obviously the biggest one being that it would freeze when I was trying to bring all of those shrine pieces back to Wispwagon. That was a little bit frustrating. But I hope everybody enjoyed, like I said, and you can find this game on Steam. I believe you can also buy it on the Switch. I first played it on Xbox Game Pass. I would imagine it's available everywhere. I mean, if it's available on Nintendo consoles, PC, and Xbox, I would imagine it's also on the PlayStation. I like all of the collecting, and I like that it's not too arduous. We were able to kind of get everything finished up and have everything that we needed to be done by the end of the game tied up in a nice little bow, and if you lose things or you're not sure where to find it, the game has maps, and I really like collecting when nothing is missable and the game makes it easy for you to go and get collectibles. It just makes it much, much more enjoyable. Please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. We can discuss this game. If you have any questions, I can try and answer them. Overall, I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. And I always love bringing new projects to everybody. I get really, really excited to see how everybody's going to react. I'm finishing this and I don't even have the first part uploaded, so it's always interesting too when I'm not recording as I go, because I can't go back and fix things or include things that I may have missed. So it's good with a game like this that I was fairly certain that I got everything finished. I didn't have to worry about having something missable that I can never go back to. And it has been a very long time since I've done any sort of adventure game for the channel, so it's nice to break up the monotony and sort of just get a different genre in there as well. You can hold down the A button to make these credits go by faster, but I try not to do that. We need to give credit where credit is due for all the work that they did on the game. And that's the end. I will do a very, very short little video, probably next time, just going back into the game after you've completed it and showing off just a few minor things that have sort of changed when we go back into the deep woods, and just a few conversations and some dialogue and stuff that we can get into. But that's a wrap. There's not really much else to say at this point. I think I've said everything that I wanted to say. How much I've enjoyed this, how much I still enjoy doing Let's Plays. Fingers crossed that everybody watching this has enjoyed it too. I want to thank all of my subscribers and all of my viewers and my patrons as well. I'm gonna leave it here, but stay tuned for one more short sort of bonus video to wrap things up. Thank you all so very much, and I hope that you stay tuned for whatever project it is that I have next.